Hey, welcome back to Pastor TK Cards. Just want to jump on here and really give you kind of an update to my week in the hobby. I've got some pickups I want to show you. Going to show you a couple videos, just highlighting a few projects that I'm working through. Shared a little bit back that I had finished my run from 1973 Topps till modern day. As I was finalizing all that, I realized I have one card from 2023 Topps. This is a common that I still need to get, so I'm going to get that. And then I had started on the 62s Topps set, and I'm not going to stop doing that, but I just really got to thinking, I've got the 64 complete. I've got 65. I need two cards, the Mantle and the Rose. I'm going to try to pick those up in the next month. It'll be really within the next month. And I'm heading to the Dallas Card Show, and if I haven't gotten them by then, that's one of my primary goals at that show, is to bring home the Rose and the Mantle. So I have 64 done and 65 done. And so instead of really digging in the older, that gap 66 through 72 is really where I'm going to kind of concentrate. So I'll show you some video of some lots that I've picked up where I'm going to start there. And then I'll still kind of dig into the 62 a little bit. I'm over 50% of the way on that one. And so I'll have a good set needs list in Dallas for that too, that I'll knock out all the low-hanging fruit, those $1 card, $2 cards, just knock out as many of those as possible, even before I get to Dallas, probably in September. But then I also just kind of figuring out what's my primary goals. I'm not opening a lot of product right now. I'm waiting until Topps Update and Topps Archives are really the only two products the rest of the year that I'll think I'll buy more than just a blaster box. I'll probably buy a case of the Update. I normally do flagship pretty heavy, Series 1, Series 2, and Update. And I just really like Topps Archives. It's one of my favorite products. I think I like it better than Heritage, just because you can complete the base set pretty easy, and it's just a fun open. And I like just looking at the older designs, even if some of them are still in my lifetime. It's fun. And so I'm going to show you a couple videos, different places in the house where I've got some projects going on right now and what I'm trying to do. And then at the very end, I'll show you some individual cards that I've picked up since the last time. Actually, in the last week, all these have come in the last week, except for some of them came in some mail days, in the big bunch of mail I got when I came back from sabbatical, but I haven't shown them yet. And so I'll show those videos, and at the end, I'll have the camera turned around and I'll show you some cards. So here's some 62 Topps. I'll show you some of the better ones in that when I get back upstairs and do the video of my pickups. Got my album down here, working on the 62 set, starting to fill in the album. Hadn't made a lot of progress. Well, yeah, I'm about 50% done, like I said. So that's good. And so like I told you, I was trying to concentrate on the gap between 65 and 73, so 66 to 72. Found some nice lots, pretty good price on eBay of some 69 Topps, and so I'm sorting those. I got a couple more lots. By the time I get everything in, I'll have about 700 to 800 cards. So some dupes to trade, and then most of the commons will be done, and then I'll start picking out the bigger cards. And then I've got a couple lots coming of 67 Topps, where I think by the time that's done, I'll have close to 1,067 Topps. So I'll have a good set needs list and know what cards I need by the time I get to Dallas. What I normally do with sets is like this, that I buy the lots, I sort them, get my needs list done, and then I pick off like I say, the low-hanging fruit, the cheaper ones. And then normally now what I'm doing is I'm kind of rating my top 10 favorite cards in the set, Hall of Famers and key rookies, and I'll get those slabbed. And so this is some of the projects I'm working on. I'm sorting downstairs at the table a little bit. One, mainly because they came in the mail today, and so I've been working through them. But I need to get this done, get those in the binder, and get everything back upstairs. My wife doesn't fuss when my card collection leaks out into other parts of the house, but I think it's best that we get everything back up to the card room upstairs. And so, man, I appreciate it. And I'm going to show you some of my other projects going on, and then some cards as well. Hang in there. Right, here's kind of my project, another project, just trying to clean out and organize everything I picked up during my sabbatical, working through my Topps Series 2. This is 2025 Topps Chrome Platinum product that I opened. Got some Finest there. Got some Topps Chrome. Got a little bit of Bowman Chrome. Here's a lot of some 80s Junks wax that somebody gave me from the church. But that was really fun to go through. None of the big players, but just a lot of the Hall of Famers were in there. It was just fun. And then another project I'm working on is there's a case of, that box is a case of BCW baseball binders that I'm gonna put some sets into. And if you got the binders, you got to have the pages. That's a case of pages that I'll be working through. So that's a little bit more of what's going on in the hobby. So as far as pickups this week, I mentioned a lady had given me a Ziploc bag of cards at church on Wednesday night is when she gave it to me. And it was just mainly stuff from 1984, 86, 87. Some 88s, junk wax stuff, Topps. It's all Topps though, and they were in pretty good condition for having been in a Ziploc bag. And a lot of Hall of Famers in there, so it wasn't just cherry picked. There wasn't any of the big rookies, but it was still a lot of fun to go through it, and I appreciate it. People just come up and start handing me stuff now. I'm going to show you another thing that somebody did that as well. But in there was this set from 86. It's 86 Quaker Chewy granola bars, produced by Topps, but just a different food set. Got some good players in there, all solid stars from the day, a lot of Hall of Famers and superstars. And so that was fun. That's something I've never seen before. Not a lot of value there. I think those go for $1 or $2 a card, but that was just something I hadn't seen, so that was fun. We were at a meal the other night with some of our church members, and the guy said, hey, I was in a place and they had these, and I thought he'd bring them to me. And he beat me up a unopened pack of 1989 Topps and 1989 Donner. Somebody giving me a 1988 Topps cello pack. Nothing of incredible value, but those are cool because that was the heyday of my collecting. Right before I had left, I'd shared this set with you from Nabisco had put out a program where you could send in proofs of purchase, and you got these Hall of Fame autographs. I'd shown these before, the Catfish Hunter and the Phil Necro, Willie Stargell. Just cool, legitimate Hall of Fame on-card autographs that are not incredibly expensive. You still get these, all of them for less than $20 a card, and most of them for less than $10. Brooks Robinson. The Drysdale's a little bit more expensive because, unfortunately, he passed away during the middle of promotion, so there's not nearly as many copies of his, but still not an expensive card for a really cool on-card autograph. Ernie Banks, just sweet. Well, then found out they did it in 94 as well, and so I was just picking those up. There's 4 that were distributed regularly, and then 2 that were distributed at special events. I really want the Tug McGraw because, being a Phillies fan, obviously I want the Tug McGraw, but got the Duke Snider. These are from 94, similar type promotion, but Duke Snider autograph, and then a Frank Robinson. A little different design, but just still a cool on-card autograph of Hall of Famers that just neat to have. Jim Palmer. And I might upgrade this one. I'm not going to get rid of this one unless somebody wants to trade for it. But get one with that autograph's a little bit faded, but man, still cool. A Bob Gibson on-card Hall of Fame autograph. So glad to get those. I picked up a good amount of 1962 Topps. Like I said, I'm working on that set. Obviously, digging in more to the 67 and 69, but I'm not going to just neglect the 62 Topps. Picked up a few cards that were a little bit more than just normal, but here's one I found. I've got a Causey that I did a funeral for a guy named Causey and from Louisiana a couple years ago. Just a great guy named Jack Causey, and I saw Wayne Causey and I thought maybe he's from Louisiana. I wonder if he's a Causey from Louisiana. And sure enough, but on the back he's from Monroe, Louisiana. For those of you who don't know, I live in Louisiana. And then got a couple Hall of Famers in that pickup. Raw Don Drysdale, Orlando Cepeda All-Star, Roger Craig playing days card, pitcher for the Mets. That's pretty cool. One of the Babe Ruth cards. And then got several of the league leader cards. Listen, don't sleep on the league leaders. These guys were the best in certain categories in some season. I'll tell you the one, especially there, the Camilo Pascal for the Twins. Listen, he's on a lot of league leaders cards in the 60s, early 60s. And so don't sleep on those. That's a fun way to get some nice cards of solid players, even Hall of Famers, and really is some neat history to the game. Finally, The last thing that I'll show you is a few graded card pickups that I've picked up. And like I said, I'm gonna eventually collect every set, but really trying to work on that gap between 65 and 73, so 66 through 72. Like I said, with the 67 and 69 primarily, but found this card at a really good price of a Hall of Famer. I know I'm going to do a 72 set, and really I bought it because he had another card that I'm going to show you, and I just knew I could save on shipping at the time. So whenever I buy a card from somebody on eBay, I always look to see what else they have to see if I can do some combined shipping, because it just helps cut down on the cost per card and make sure I get a good deal. Another thing, this is the set from the 50s that I mentioned that I'm gonna work on. I've already shown you one of these. I picked this up over the summer, and my first Ted Williams card. And so the 57 top set is gonna be the first set from the 1950s that I try to complete. Man, a lot of great cards, a lot of big cards. It's not gonna be cheap. It's probably gonna take me a few years, but picked up the Ted Williams while I was traveling. And since I've been back, I found a couple more for pretty good deals. One with that McCovey will be the last one I'll show you, which is really my favorite one of all of the 57s I've picked up. But got the 1957 Topps Rocco Calavito in a PSA 5. That's his rookie card. So nice card there. Nice example of that card. Just really like the 57s. I don't know, there's just something about them that drew them to me to make that the first set from the 50s I'm going to start on. You got the Brooks and the Frank Robinson rookies, and so that's good. And then obviously you got all the big boys in there. And then picked up Hall of Fame rookie card of Bill Mazeroski in a PSA 5. So really happy with those. And then from the same place I bought the 72 McCovey. He had a really good deal, and I bought this card first and then added the McCovey to save on some shipping, but and it was a good deal as well. But just really like this card. One of the most underrated, undervalued, except for his 52 Topps, maybe Hall of Famers still, in my opinion, and just a really nice copy of the 1957 Topps Ed Matthews. So that's kind of my journey right now, what I'm up to in the hobby. I'd love to hear what you've got going on, and if you're going to be at the excuse me, but I'm not doing this whole video over. I've done it 3 times now, so you're just gonna have to say God bless you. But if you find yourself at the Dallas show in September, make sure to let me know, and I'd love to meet you in person and hear more of your story. But just in the comments, this is some of the projects I've got going on, some of my goals, some of the things that are happening with me. I'd love to hear what's going on with you. And so thanks for watching. Until next time.